Welcome to 𝐒𝐻𝐢𝐫 yoga. In today's class, our focus is the hips, pelvis and groin, in particular working with the psoas muscle and any tension we may be holding here within the body. Coming to any comfortable seated position, you could use a cushion under the pelvis. Bring some softness to the knees, the hips, the arms, the shoulders. Lower or close the eyes. Just take this moment of stillness here, noticing the breath, observing each inhale, each exhale, and the natural space between the breath. Not worrying if the mind wanders, bring the focus back. Notice the coolness of your inhale, the warmth of each exhale, and the quality of the breath in this moment. Bring in the awareness back to your body now. Allowing the eyes to gently open and coming to the back of your mat in a kneeling position. If more comfortable, you could place a cushion under the pelvis, placing a rolled up blanket underneath the knees. We're going to take the knees apart, keeping the feet together, folding forward when you're ready. Taking the body over towards the left knee and using bolsters, cushions to support the body if needed. Once you're here, make sure you're comfortable, relaxing the shoulders, the neck and head. Drawing the pelvis back as we open the groin here, the inner thighs, and using our breath as we begin to hold. Beginning to encourage a mindful inhale. Maybe taking the breath down to the lower back, into the left side of the rib cage, or wherever you feel the stretch as we hold the pose. allow an extension of the exhale and begin to melt the whole body within this shape. A conscious relaxation with each breath and staying receptive to how the body responds as you relax here. Mindfully and slowly taking the same shape over to the other side, using any means of support here so you're comfortable. Opening the hips and the back of the body in our child's position, working the energy of the second chakra. This is the area of a real storage house for our emotions. Plus we're nourishing the liver meridian as we pull the tissues of the groin and inner thigh, bringing it back to our conscious breathing and sending the breath to any part of the body where you feel you need the support. Just staying receptive to how the breath creates more space and actively softening within the pose. Gently coming back to a neutral position now. Just take a moment here as you come back to center. Before lifting the body, bringing the knees together and taking a child's pose, hands in front or towards the feet. Noticing any sensations within the groin, the inner thighs, as we take a resting position here. rolling out of your child, we can remove the padding under the knees and come into an all-fours position, having the knees under the hips and your hands relatively under the shoulders. Taking a couple of rounds of cat here as we inhale, extend through the heart center. As you exhale, curving the spine. With each inhale, keep lifting from the heart, drawing the tailbone to the sky. With each exhale, allowing the spine to round. Tucking your toes on the next inhale as you ground your hands, exhale into a downward dog now. Keeping the legs bent, drawing the front of the hips back, rooting down through the hands. Find a line of energy all the way to your sit bones. You could walk the feet here to open the backs of the legs. Before coming to a neutral position, bent legs or straighten the legs. And just feeling the breath at the back of the body here. Stepping forward to the front of the mat. Take the feet slightly wider and at any angle that allows you to drop down into a squat position. You're welcome to use a block under the pelvis if you need support. If your heels are off the floor, you could use the folded blanket or bolster, and the arms can be inside the knees. Make sure the knees are comfortable and pointing in a similar position to the feet. If they're not, you could always take the feet wider or rest the heels on a blanket or bolster. If you wish to work in a deeper variation, you could try this shape with the feet together, but keeping the knees wide apart. Finding any position here that allows the body to relax for a 3-minute hold. Relaxing the shoulders, the head. We're opening the hips and strengthening through the ankles. Releasing into the lower back. We're working into the liver and kidney lines that run through the groin, and also the urinary bladder lines at the back of the body. If you're feeling this stretch through the ankles, you may be also stimulating the stomach, spleen, gallbladder and urinary bladder meridians here. Breathing into the sensations you feel and really allowing the breath to support you as we hold the pose here. dropping the hands to the floor when you're ready now to come into a forward fold. Bend your knees here as much as you need to bring the chest to the thighs just for a moment. Bring in the hands to the floor and stepping back with the right foot when you're ready. And bring in the left foot under the left knee. Taking the right knee as far back to open the front of your pelvis here. You can use blocks of various heights to support the body, or bring the right hand to that back leg and the left hand onto the left thigh as we come into a high dragon here. The target is the front of the right side of the pelvis into our hip flexor, the psoas at the front of the body. Finding your shape here, connecting with the breath. You're welcome to stay here for a further 2 minutes, or we can slightly change the shape, coming into a low dragon, just taking that left foot slightly wider to create space to drop the body down towards the floor here. Again, you could use blocks to support the hands. Maybe come down onto the elbows. You also have the option to drop down closer towards the floor. You could use your hands as bricks to support the head, or even bring the head completely to the ground here. If you wish to go deeper, you could take your left hand to the right foot as you drop towards the floor here, creating a deeper opening to the front of the pelvis. Making sure you're comfortable, listening to any messages of the body, bringing the focus back to the breath here. Mindfully and slowly drop in the hands Rooting through the hands to step back into a downward dog here. Lengthen through the front of the body as you draw the front of your hips back. And just taking a moment here. Stepping forward with the right foot when you're ready, dropping that back knee as far back as comfortable to come into our high dragon here. Remember your options to become comfortable. Releasing the weight of the pelvis. Using the breath to support you as we hold the pose here. Again, you have the option to stay here for our final 2 minutes, or take the right foot slightly wider, any option, into our low dragon now. Making sure you're comfortable, listen to any messages the body offers. Finding the stillness. Connecting with the breath. Affecting the stomach, the spleen, liver, gallbladder and kidney meridians and organs within the dragon flying low, and even the urinary bladder meridian in the dragon flying high. So staying with the stillness now, be receptive to how the body's responding, noticing what happens when you allow yourself to really melt within this pose. Drop in the hands when you're ready now, rooting through the hands as you step back into our final downward dog here. Legs can be bent or straight as you create space through the front of the body. Breathing into the back of the heart just for a moment here. Bending the knees when you're ready now to come down into your child's pose. You could use a cushion under the pelvis, arms in front or towards the feet. Bring in some softness to the shoulders, the head. releasing into the lower back, soft belly, observing the gentle breath you can feel here at the back of the heart. Rolling out of your child now, taking hold of your blanket for our next shape, bringing the blanket towards the back of your mat to protect your knees here, coming back into a kneeling position. Again, you could use a cushion under the pelvis, taking the knees apart with the feet together back into a wide knee child's pose, and you have the option here to take the feet apart to come into a frog position. As you draw the hips back, the target is the groin, the inner thighs. The knees and feet can be in any position that allows you to access this target. It's a 5-minute hold here. Do become comfortable, using your bolsters, your blocks in front of the body if you need support. Making sure the knees are comfortable. If you're experiencing tingling through the hands, maybe change the position of your arms or use one arm at a time in front. Working into a deep groin opener now, especially the adductors, and also providing a slight back bend which will compress into the lower back. As we bring some stimulation into the inner thighs, we're working into the spleen, the liver and kidney meridians. When we have the arms stretched forward, we're also working into the upper body meridians, affecting the heart, the lungs, the small and large intestines. Allow the focus to come back to the breath here. Really allowing the breath to support the pose. Taking your inhale into the back of the heart, observe the space. Provide an extended exhale and really melting within this shape. As you begin to allow a sense of surrender here, noticing what happens within the body. Try not to hold on within the position. Use your support if it's painful. Remember, we're learning to listen to the body and allow ourselves to respond here. mindfully and slowly coming out of the shape now, drawing the knees together and releasing into our child's pose here, making sure you're comfortable in the lower back, the arms, the shoulders. Releasing the spine completely, relax the belly. Just staying receptive here to where we've just worked and how the inner thighs, the groin, begins to soften as we let go here. Rolling out of your child now, removing your blankets and coming onto the back of the body. The legs can be bent or straight here. Relaxing your shoulders, sinking the weight of the pelvis, the weight of the spine into the ground. And taking a moment here to rest the body. Notice how you're feeling following the practice so far. We're going to move into our next position now. Grabbing hold of your blocks or bolsters and placing this support under the lower back at the sacrum, the flat part of the lower back. Just keep the knees bent here for a moment. making sure you feel comfortable in the lower back, and when you're ready, straightening the legs to open the front of the body here. Legs can be towards each other or apart, whichever feels comfortable. Arms at the side of the body or above the head. It's a 4-minute hold here. Let's be comfortable. Make sure you feel supported so you can bring that sense of surrender back to the body. We're opening into the front of the pelvis now, the hip flexors, the psoas here, but also working into the sacrum and lower back as we take this back bend. As we work into the sacrum and lower back, we're stimulating both the kidney and urinary bladder meridians. And as we stress along the thighs, lower belly and front of the hip flexors, stimulating into both the spleen and stomach meridians, as well as our kidney meridians. If you have the arms above the head, also stimulating both the heart and lung meridians. So allowing the breath here to do the work. With each inhale, allowing the heart center to open the front of the body. And with each exhale, releasing all effort. Remember, it's a conscious relaxation as you let go with each breath. Staying receptive to how the front of the pelvis, the thighs, the belly begins to open and deepen as we let go here. If you have your arms overhead, just release the arms to the side of the body. And when you're ready, bend your legs here. Mindfully and slowly lifting out of the pose now. As you lower the spine back to the ground, try not to tuck the tailbone under, bringing the feet back in line with the hips. You can release the head and keeping your awareness at the lower back, the sacrum, the front of the pelvis. Staying receptive to this rebound Noticing the sensations of where we've just worked and how they begin to soften and release here as we begin to relax. Moving into our next position now, eye of the needle pose, placing the left foot over the right thigh, making sure your knee is comfortable as you open the hip. Raising the right foot, you could use a block under this foot or place the foot against a wall. If you wish to go deeper, threading the hands through so you're holding onto the front of your right shin. Relax your head, your shoulders down. It's a 3.5 minute hold here. Do make sure you're comfortable so we're able to go deeper into the body as we begin to relax. Once you find your shape here, again breathing into the body, directing your inhale to where you feel the stretch here. With each exhale, actively soften the parts of the body where you need the support. This is a lovely shape to increase the flexibility within the hip joints. Also relieves stiffness around the hips and lower back, stimulating the urinary bladder at the back of the body and the liver and kidney meridians. Really focus on your breathing here. We're creating steady, slow breaths through the nose. Remember, we're finding our comfortable edge within the shape, and as we actively soften, maybe taking the position deeper. Gently releasing from the pose and placing the arms at the side of the body. We have two options now. We can straighten the right leg, taking the left leg over the right thigh to bring the left foot around the back of the right calf. Our second option is to bend the knees to the chest. Either option, bringing the legs over towards the right side when you're ready. So we're taking a supine twist here. If your left shoulder comes off the floor, you could use a cushion to support the body. And use cushions, bolsters or blocks to support the legs. It's a 3.5 minute hold here. Allow the body to be comfortable. Offering that sense of surrender as you let go here. The breath is steady, there's no strain. Just feeling each breath on the left side of the body, the space here. And melting a little deeper as you let go with the exhale. Releasing the spine from all the work you've done today. Also stimulates the side of the body, the side of your pelvis, into the gallbladder meridian here. If you have your legs in eagle legs, just undo the knees before bringing the knees back to center and hugging the knees into the chest here for a moment. Releasing the feet back to the floor to come into the eye of the needle position. Right foot over that left thigh. Use a block or wall, or threading the hands through to come into the position in this way. Relaxing the head, the shoulders, reaching that edge, bringing it back to the breath here. Allowing the breath to support the pose. Actively soften where you feel the stretch. Staying receptive to the parts of the body that begin to open here. Gently releasing from the pose now, taking the arms to the side of the body. Let's come into our twist here. Right leg over the left thigh, bringing that foot to the back of the calf, or just bend the knees here. Taking the legs over to the left side when you're ready. Using cushions under any part of the body that needs support, maybe the right shoulder or the legs. Allowing yourself to be completely comfortable now. We're coming to the end of the class. Offering that sense of surrender here as you feel the gentle breath in the right side of the body, melting the shape with each exhale. Our twists have an added bonus of rebalancing the nervous system. They will prepare the body for our final relaxation. So giving yourself permission here to fully relax. If you have your legs in eagle legs, again just undo the knees. Bringing the knees back to center. You can hug or rock the back into the floor here. Coming into our final position, our Shavasana, a relaxation position that suits your body so you're able to fully benefit from the class today. Rolling back the shoulders, releasing the weight of the spine, the pelvis, allowing the body to be weighted here, and using this time to fully let go and relax. I will leave you here to stay in the Shavasana for as long as you need to. Do take your time. I hope you've enjoyed the class with me today. Do come back and see me again. Namaste.